You'd think a parking space wouldn't cause World War III, but you haven't met Karen. I live in a small condo complex where parking is, let's just say, a touchy subject. Every unit has one assigned spot, clearly marked with the unit number. There are a few guest spots too, but those are first come, first served, and limited. My spot, number 14, is right in front of my building. I've lived here for 8 years. It's been my space since day one. I pay HOA dues like everyone else, and that spot was part of my purchase agreement. It's even written into my deed. Enter Karen. She moved in 2 months ago into unit number 16, two doors down from me. I tried to be friendly, waved hello, offered to help her with moving boxes. She gave me the tight-lipped smile of someone who considers pleasantries beneath her. The problem started 3 weeks after she moved in. I came home from work and found her car parked in my space. At first, I assumed it was a mistake. People sometimes confuse the numbers, so I left a polite note on her windshield. Hi, just a heads up, this is Unit 14's assigned parking. Thanks. The next morning, her car was still there. Then it happened again the following week, and again. Eventually, the notes became verbal reminders. I knocked on her door and calmly said, "Hey, I think you're in my spot again." Karen's response? "You don't own the asphalt. It's a parking lot, not a throne." I explained again that it was deeded to me. That didn't faze her. She rolled her eyes and slammed the door. So I did what any rational person would do. I contacted the HOA. They sent a generic letter reminding residents to honor assigned parking. That worked for about 3 days. Then bam, her car was back in my spot. Next, I had the car towed. Karen lost her mind. She came storming up to my door like a Category 5 hurricane, pounding her fist and shouting, "You had no right!" I calmly responded, "You were parked illegally. I had every right." She threatened to call the police. I told her to go ahead. Spoiler, she didn't, because she knew she was wrong. But Karen wasn't done. A few days later, I got a notice from the HOA. She had filed a dispute, claiming the spot should have been common property and requesting it be reconsidered for reassignment. That was the final straw. I hired a real estate attorney and had him prepare a full packet. The original deed, the condo map showing the assigned spots, the bylaws referencing deeded parking, and yes, the court order from a similar dispute I'd won with a previous neighbor who tried the same nonsense 3 years ago. That one ended in small claims court, and the judge ruled in my favor, affirming that spot number 14 was my exclusive property. Armed with that, I waited. Sure enough, the next week I pulled in after a long day, and there she was, standing in front of spot number 14 with her arms crossed. "You can't park there," she said defiantly. "I'm claiming this spot for my guests. You don't have the right to keep it all to yourself." Without saying a word, I reached into my glove box, pulled out the court order copy, and handed it to her. She snatched it, glanced at it, and immediately turned pale. You sued someone over a parking spot?" "No," I said calmly. "I protected my legal property, and I'll do it again." She stared at the paper, blinked a few times, then shoved it back into my hand and stormed off without another word. Since then, she hasn't parked in my spot once. Not even close. In fact, she started using the guest parking on the other side of the lot, far from my unit. Word must have gotten around too, because suddenly everyone's parking a little more carefully. And me? I laminated the court order and keep it in my glove box, just in case. Homeowners associations, Karen, and parking spots. Who knew real estate law would be my weirdest flex?